Hello and welcome. I am Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
And you are currently listening to the Nerd Squadron 535 podcast. All right, Chris, so do you understand what I mean by give me your Mount Rushmore of insert topic?
This is literally the first time I'm ever hearing, like, give me your Mount Rushmore. But thankfully, I remember high school, so I know what Mount Rushmore is. So I want you to tell me. I want to explain. I want to make sure I get the right picture.
So, it's used a lot in the wrestling community to name someone's like top four. These are the single greatest wrestlers of all time.
Okay.
You know, like The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle.
My favorite is just Eddie Guerrero 4 times. I miss him so much. And Randy Orton, honorable mention.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's not the point of this video, though.
No.
We'll get there. We'll get there later.
Okay.
But so, if we're gonna think about iconic video game franchises,
mm-hmm.
what is your absolute number one, no matter what, number one video game iconic franchise? I know mine.
All right.
Arkham series.
You think the Arkham series is the most iconic?
Yeah, I do.
Video games, like
I do.
You can say this is video games right here.
Yep.
It's Batman Arkham series.
Absolutely.
Give me a reason.
So, one, they are the definitive games for Batman himself.
You sure?
I am absolutely sure.
Okay.
Name one other great Batman game.
Batman Vengeance?
That matters.
You're an asshole. That's one of my favorite games.
Okay, that everyone knows.
Okay, everyone's going to know Arkham because it's...
But so you have Kevin Conroy as Batman, the most iconic version of Batman.
All right.
You have Mark Hamill, who
is Joker.
Is the Joker.
Like, flat out.
Heath Ledger who? The storyline between the main three games is incredible. Have you ever actually even played the Arkham games?
Yeah, I played Arkham Asylum and City. I haven't played Night yet, but I played those two for sure.
Okay. So, Arkham City is, perfection.
Okay. I mean, I can see that, definitely. I had fun with Arkham City.
For me, with playability, characters just being I would consider that as Batman, Joker, and all the other villains in the games. That is their most perfect iteration of themselves.
Okay.
I don't think any other medium has done them as well, other than maybe Batman the Animated Series. But
Okay. So, I mean, here's the thing, right? I'm kind of I don't know. When I think of in terms of iconic video games, right? I'm thinking pioneers in a way. Either they've set the road for other game franchises and stuff like that, or they have a significant story that I think will make them stand out compared to other franchises and stuff. Because there's plenty of them that work and plenty that don't work, and yeah, they can work, but they're not iconic, So
I get that. So there's all of that, but I also think storyline has to be a huge contributing factor, because the overall storyline from Asylum through Night is great.
Okay.
And it's that's something you would want to see in a movie, right?
So
you also have to have replay value.
Okay.
Because, you can go through and you can beat the story for those games. But then, you have all the side stuff, like the Riddler trophies.
No, that makes sense.
Victor Zsasz is in one of them, I think. So, there's all of that stuff.
I think he was in Asylum.
I want to say he's in Night as well.
Okay, you probably recurring here.
But it's just all of that stuff. I think the Arkham series has great replay value, because you can go through and do stuff slightly different.
So what if I were to tell you my top one actually has great replay value, is a pioneer, has no story whatsoever,
Okay.
My top one, it's not even like a character, it's Tetris. Love I love Tetris. It is
Okay.
it is the game. And here's why. It's very simple premise. You just set blocks down, make a line, and break it, right? It's so simple, it gives an entry level to literally everybody. It set the market. It was like one of the very first that made portable console gaming like one of the biggest things like in gaming history. That's why we started getting stuff like Game Boys and PSPs, phone games for one.
God, I miss the PSP.
Yeah, I love the PSP, and I still have my PSP. Thank God.
I never had one.
Yeah, they're durable. They're like Nokia phones, but
Way ahead of its time. Anyway,
so like when you have something as simple as the manipulation of like 4 blocks in different shapes to actually create a puzzle game that not only includes replayability for people who want to aim for high scores, but competitiveness when dealing like with the increasing speed and stuff. Very simple. You have something that stimulates like people's reasoning to understand how to solve the puzzle and win in the game like over and over again until it reaches like their potential. Like it's the very essence of what a game is, to use your brain to overcome this obstacle in increasing difficulties. It's at its core like what it is. And I know it doesn't have a character, it doesn't really have
that's
like
okay.
a theme.
No, I love Tetris. Tetris is awesome.
Yeah. But to me, like Tetris to me is basically chess for video games. It's
I'd
the
rather
staple.
play Tetris.
Exactly. Everyone would rather play Tetris, but chess is iconic in its own like, traditional games. While Tetris is the iconic one for video games in that sense. Now, like for my second pick though, I mean, I think, in my opinion, it's a great success story about a story of perseverance for a franchise that should have died so many times, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to say this. There's so many games from them, right? Were absolute trash. I'm going to say that right now. It was absolute trash, half the games I played from them. But it stuck around. And the games that came out recently, very recently, were like, they're through the roof that they're really great. But it's been around since what? Genesis, like 16-bit games?
Yeah.
Yeah, it went through its ups. It went through its downs for a long time. But what it shows for like what Sonic would show for like other game developers or franchise owners is that you can still keep these and they're still good despite like how it has failed in the past. And I think for like something like that, I consider like Sonic to be an evergreen type of like franchise or IP because it'll last as long as like people last, in my opinion. I know, controversial, so I see you nodding no, but like I want to hear your opinion.
So, I think Sonic is cool as a character. I really like how he goes Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. Go ahead.
But, each game is the exact same thing.
You think so?
Yeah. You're just running in like the little things, go around your circles, whatever. Like
kind of like Mario.
Well, there's at least some variations with Mario. So like you have Mario 64, Mario Sunshine,
Okay.
Odyssey,
You just
Galaxy.
run to the star, get it, move to the next level,
Yeah.
jump.
But, with Mario games, there are sometimes at least an open world element to it.
Have you
Which-
played the new game
which
from
one?
Sonic?
Mm-mm.
It was actually an open world game,
Oh, wow.
and not only
Did
that,
you get to go Super Saiyan?
yes, he did, and they did it in the most cheesy way possible. I'm not going to spoil, but so how many Sonic games have you played actually?
I played a couple as a kid.
Like, can you name them?
Nope.
Okay.
They were at friends' houses.
So, like, I played a bunch of them growing up, and about half of them, like, had gimmicks, too.
Yeah.
So like one of them you play as 3 characters like at once. One of them was a pinball game, and like one was like kind of like Dr. Mario,
Dr. Sonic.
Dr. Sonic, but it was like with the Dr. Eggman, I think. But they try gimmicks, but it's a great comparison because like when Mario does it, it tends to be a success.
Yeah.
Like they make a great design. Mario does great, and that's one of my choices too, just because of how well they succeed.
Oh yeah, Mario's actually probably going to be my second choice. I love Mario. Like Mario 64.
I mean, like here's why it's so interesting, right? You have a success story, right, and you have like a kind of underdog story with like Sonic compared, and that's why it's kind of comparison, right? Where Mario franchise, like when they do a gimmick, they try to do it right, and like it's very like it's not too experimental, but they just add on to like a game to make sure like the game stays fresh.
Yeah.
Whereas Sonic, they tried so many different really experimental like takes and like twists and turns of how they do the game.
Like Super Saiyan.
Like that was always since the beginning, but like just a bunch of weird stuff. Like I think they went to skateboarding and stuff like that. They had a Cars game for some reason, but the thing is,
I mean, so does Mario.
Yes. I mean, yeah, more or less, but oh yeah, Mario has golfing too. So I guess
Mario has like golf, tennis, baseball.
But what I'm saying is, where even though Sonic's like other takes didn't work, they still managed to keep going with it. So like to compete against something like Mario is a huge feat. So that gives me like I have a lot of more respect for that than something that is already good. Although I still like Mario, and that's one of my choices as well.
So for me, Mario it's a lot of nostalgia. Mario 64 is probably my favorite Mario game. I remember me and my older brother playing that as kids on the 64 and having a great time. Actually, I have a 64 with Mario in it right now.
Okay, I have a Mario 64 copy. I don't have a Mario 64 console. I mean an N64, so I don't have the chance to play it. Thankfully, though, I love playing like the ROM hacks. I don't want to say all of them, but there are some of them that are really great. Very, very terrifying, though. No, but like I do like Mario, but I feel like it's found its spot. It's not still searching.
Well, I also feel like the difference between Mario and Sonic is, Mario made it real big with Nintendo, and when Mario came out, Nintendo pretty much skyrocketed. But Nintendo has been around since the 1800s.
No, I know that with the cards and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
but like what makes I know Mario like it got huge. I think with Donkey Kong then Mario, right? Or Mario was the first for like home consoles and stuff.
I think Mario was
like
first.
Arcade.
I think Mario was first for
Donkey Kong
home console.
Yeah, Mario's first for home
but
console.
Donkey Kong
was the arcade.
Well, I think Donkey Kong started off as a villain for Mario. I think he's the villain in the first Mario game.
Like Donkey Kong has his own game, but
or
he's
maybe
a I think
maybe Mario appeared in the Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, so like remember right with the bars and like the hammer and stuff. Yeah, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they did it in the movie.
I heard Donkey Kong was actually like from someone else. Like they said that he was a protagonist and Mario was a bad guy when he was called like Jumpman, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I think.
But yeah, what I was trying to say exactly was I lost track partially.
No, you're
Mario.
good.
I mean, like Mario games were very much like I wouldn't say cookie cutter. That would be like a horrible way to say it, but I think they had a staple like formula for how they make them, and that's why they stay good. Whereas like when you have another company like just jump in the way, like when Super Nintendo came out, you had Sega Genesis, and they were trying to like overtake this like giant of a game company. I mean, like something like Sonic was definitely needed, and I think in a way like it probably like had Nintendo like try to innovate more with how they make their games, and like especially when they went to 3D and stuff. When I remember Sonic went to 3D in the Genesis, like again, pseudo, like it was just isometric, but still, I think I think Sonic has his place there.
Mm-hmm.
But enough about Sonic. I'm
So,
sure.
like I said, Mario is my second franchise. My third, and you might disagree with this, Pokemon.
Ah, hmm. I can understand. I just don't know. I mean, like, I feel like Pokemon, it was a big staple. I'll grant you that. But I feel like, whereas Mario was kind of evergreen in its quality, like mostly for the most part, been good for all of his games.
Yeah.
Pokemon has kind of dwindled in quality slightly.
So,
Especially in terms of the design is not being consistent with like previous like iterations and generations.
I think part of it is in, you kind of said this with Sonic. Sonic should have probably ended a long time ago with games. I honestly think Pokemon could have ended a long time ago.
Okay.
I really do. But I do. There are newer Pokemon that I do really like. I'd have to say, like one of the newer generations that's come out recently. Excuse me. Lycanroc. I love Lycanroc from Gen 7
Okay.
and Alola.
Would you say your Lycanroc of course won, but would you say there's like a specific Pokemon that you would consider to be like the face of Pokemon in a way? I know like everyone wants to say Pikachu for sure, and it might be a good case, but I want to know if you have a different opinion.
Other than Pikachu, I would have to say the absolute face of Pokemon is Charizard.
I could see that. He was the first like Pokemon game had his face on it. Pokemon,
Yep.
like Pokemon Red.
Yep.
So,
I mean, as you can see over there, I have several Charmander and Charizard things.
okay.
I love Charizard.
Like I can understand where you come from with Pokemon. I just think that for such a big project from Nintendo, that here's the thing, right? With Pokemon, right? Like its formula, like it's supposed to be a staple. Like you have the similar type of game, like for the most part, all throughout the franchise, except for like say the occasional like game like Pokemon Coliseum. But where Mario's was like they had something to keep it like fresh and innovative. The Pokemon games always felt kind of like, I guess in my opinion, kind of stale in a way. Like it was the same game throughout. And maybe they had like one very minor gimmick or so, like say tag team or whatever.
Yeah,
But it wasn't like at its core.
Each game from the beginning got a little harder. So like, and I don't know if you know this or not, but in the original games, when you pick your starter, you're actually picking your difficulty setting. So like, Bulbasaur was easy because you can get through most of the gyms with just Bulbasaur. Squirtle's medium, and Charmander was hard.
I thought I was crazy when I was thinking about that because I realized that every time I picked, I had Fire Red. I think I remember when I was playing the GBA version, like later on. But that's when I noticed like every time I just wanted like to just go through it like as far as I could. I just picked Venusaur or like Bulbasaur just because I knew like the only problem I'm gonna have is a 7th gym leader was because he was a fire version, and that was all. I didn't have to worry about the rest.
Yeah.
So like,
whereas like Charmander, you have 2 gyms that you can just completely obliterate, and that's Celadon and Fuchsia. That's it. So grass and poison. And the only reason you can take out poison super easy is because he uses bug types.
For the most part.
But like, so there was that. And then Gen 2, a little harder. Have your coming out, you probably thought, oh, it's just going to be the same game. And then they changed up the gyms. And and then they added the dark type, and then you finish up in Johto, and then you can go over into Kanto, and then you go up against Red at the very end of the game. And in my opinion, he's still the hardest Pokemon battle in any Pokemon game ever. The only one that comes close is Cynthia in Gen 4 when you face her after the Elite Four.
Okay.
Gen 3, that's when they started adding in the weather effects, like going through the desert and everything.
Like the sandstorms and rain and stuff.
Let's see. Gen 4 had Cynthia.
Okay, enough said.
Enough said, because Cynthia was hard. And even now, like, playing the remake Brilliant Diamond, Cynthia's still hard. Like, even, like, they made fairy types available in the remake. She's still damn near impossible, because her Garchomp is just ridiculous.
Okay.
And then Gen 5 had its stuff. I'm not a big fan of Gen 5. And then Gen 6, the game was just ridiculously easy.
Okay. So, like, it kind of, like, had twists in its difficulty in a way.
No.
I mean, like, throughout the entire franchise, I mean.
Yeah, so, like, it had a progression where, like, each game had its own challenges and a different level of difficulty. And then in Gen 6, it's just no.
I kind of also felt that when I was playing the newest one, Scarlet, because like I felt like for the most part when I was playing it, like technically I beat the game because I reached the end.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any challenge whatsoever. Like all the gyms I beat in one try. All the trainers that you beat them like easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the Pokemon you come across.
I mean,
like,
heck,
not as like
in my
powerful.
playthrough of Scarlet, I just went through and caught Pokemon and battled wild Pokemon. I didn't bother actually battling any trainers.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. I feel like starting around like what was it Gen 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the quality went to become a game. They try to aim it towards everybody.
Yeah,
and like I feel like this is kind of a consequence of like most games in general now, is that unless it's like catered to gamers, for example, it's like it has to be easy enough that anybody can pick up and play. And I think that kind of just ruins the spirit of games altogether.
Yep.
Like the difficulty makes like the game in a way. And even it doesn't have to be like a filter so you can't have fun, but I'm saying if you have challenge in it, it's totally okay. You're not going to scare people away.
Yeah. Well, and this is something that Pokemon has done very well, is their spin-off games.
Oh, yeah.
Like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon,
Mm-hmm.
those games are hard. I don't know if you've played those.
I had the chance. I never took it.
So in those games, so like the first one, because they recently remade it, like 3 years ago, your character, so you take a
Your
quiz,
character like is a Pokemon.
turns into a Pokemon.
Yeah,
And like you're going through and you go through these dungeons, you battle wild Pokemon. Like you have to eat stuff to make sure you don't pass out. You have to heal yourself, all this other stuff while you're in the dungeons, and then you get to like the main battle boss at the end of the dungeon, and you have to beat them. And like when you get to the part where you're at legendaries, so like Groudon is in the original game. Dude, it took me forever to beat him.
Okay.
And then I never beat Rayquaza.
I had fun playing Pokken. I didn't think that would ever come out.
The one for the Switch?
Yeah.
I never played that one.
It's basically just a fighting game, like through and through. It's just very interesting.
So it's like Smash, but just Pokemon?
No, I wouldn't say Smash. I would say, what can I compare it to?
Tekken?
Yeah, a little bit like Tekken.
Okay.
I got like, yeah, kind of like Tekken. This is the only way I can compare it to.
Mortal Kombat?
No, not like Mortal Kombat at all. But there was that one. I remember as a kid when I had a Game Boy Color, I had the Rumble Pack for like Pokemon Pinball as well,
Mm-hmm.
and that was fun. They had that recent one that came out, the MOBA, Pokemon Unite.
Yeah.
That
That one's really popular.
it is, and I hate how. Alright, I hate how much of a like a scam how the microtransactions are. I'm gonna say that. I get really mad like seeing like how you can't unlock everything unless you pay a zero amount of money. Even
Yeah.
then, like it's
And
a
then
what
what's the other one?
if.
Because there's a other.
Detective Pikachu,
No, there's another mobile game that's out right now.
Pokemon Go.
Other than that,
It was a card game, I think, right?
no,
Like tournament something.
no, I can't.
But like,
I can't remember it.
I guess what I want to ask is like, how do you think this compares to something like, say, like Tetris or Arkham, Mario?
Just
Sonic?
standing the test of time.
You think it's like one of those cases too, like stands the test of time?
Yeah, because you can, if you can manage to, you can find a copy of Red or Blue or Yellow. You can find a Game Boy, and you can play those games, and they're still fun. Like it doesn't like I've never cared about the whole level of difficulty for Pokemon. I just enjoy playing them because I think they're fun.
Okay.
But like, you can go through with a regular Pokemon game. You can pick a different starter every time. You can
You can
make a
always just try
completely
again.
different team.
And just try it in a new way, right?
Yeah, there's an infinite number of ways to play the game, and that's what I like. Because
Possibilities, really.
yeah, endless possibilities, endless playthroughs, whatever.
Okay. See, you talk about endless possibilities, and every time you say that, I just kind of think about like playing online for like Versus and Scarlet, and just seeing everyone pick the meta for like the fighting thing, just pick the best whatever's on the websites and stuff, and it ruins up fun. Like when people just worry about the meta, like which is the most heavy hitters, and that's it. It kind of ruins the excitement of just trying new things. But in terms of like, do you think that Pokemon has like has the essence of like what a video game is at its core, like in the sense of like replayability, gameplay, difficulty, and stuff like that, like that. This is like the icon for what, like the formula for what makes a good video game.
In a way, yes, because if it didn't, it would have ended a long time ago.
Okay.
If it didn't have those elements at its core, Pokemon would have been done when they wanted to end it after Crystal.
Okay.
Because if you didn't know, originally the games were supposed to be done after Crystal. It's amazing that we even got this far.
So I'll give you a hot take. One other candidate I was also thinking about was like not from like the 80s or 90s or whatever, but it was like something a bit more recent.
Okay.
Still like old because it's like now it's been like what 11, 12 years or so.
Okay.
I think a good candidate is probably Minecraft. I remember when I first played the game Minecraft, it was like, why are you sighing?
I hate Minecraft.
Why do you hate Minecraft?
I think it's dumb.
You think it's dumb? Why do you think
I
it's dumb?
think it's so dumb. It looks horrible. It does.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, look, here's how I'm gonna frame it. Right? You're online, right? You're on a forum basically, where
Mhm.
this guy's showing off his little project, his little JavaScript project of a game where you just build stuff, right? He managed to get organically, like this is an organically grown game, where you start to have a few hundreds of people showing off their builds, like of stuff they make, kind of like Lego and stuff like that, and he just slowly expanded upon it over time to the point where it becomes what it is now. So I don't know if you notice when, like, I'm sure you have to notice when you're on YouTube, for example, like all these people's builds where they end up making like huge ass like monuments and stuff, like one-to-one.
I'm going to be real honest with you. If I'm scrolling through YouTube and I see a video of Minecraft, I keep scrolling.
For good reason. I know how those videos are.
No, I just hate Minecraft that much.
I don't know. I mean, like, here, I know you don't like it, but I'm just telling you, like, I don't see that much for stuff like Mario or Pokemon, like, or Sonic or anything. I see so much about Minecraft, and that's probably for a reason, because it's a sandbox.
I'm the exact opposite. I see so many Pokemon videos on YouTube.
Well, that's because you're signed in, and that it's recommended to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, like,
I'm just a layperson. See, I'm not without the Nerd Squadron. I'm not on YouTube. I would just kind of just open it up and watch whatever I want, and then turn it off. And I don't need to log in or do anything. So, like, what happens, right? Like, I just remember this when I was like in high school, right? That you have this game
20 years ago.
20 years. I'm not that old, all right? All right. So, trying to out me right now. Okay. Like, I just remember, like, just seeing, like, people, like, make these, like, literal life-size models of stuff they see on TV and stuff like that. And they have time to do anything else.
Yeah.
Literally, right?
So,
but they choose to make a life-size model of, say, like, the Enterprise from Star Trek.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool, and they can keep doing what they're doing. I don't have that kind of patience.
I mean, I can understand that.
Like,
but
these people have spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours doing these things.
Thousands of hours on a video game.
Yeah.
So, are you telling me that's not, like, considered, like, a huge part of video game, like, culture in general?
I mean, it is.
I mean, like, you can't avoid it.
But
it's kind of like how, like, from, like, 2019 or so, you got Fortnite, for example.
I think Fortnite's dumb as hell too.
Yeah, but you can't avoid it.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you can avoid playing it, but you're gonna have to hear it somewhere.
Do you know what I see about Fortnite? Nothing.
Yep, nothing. Nothing else. I don't like Fortnite. It's very basic. There's nothing interesting and innovative about it. It's
a cartoon version of Call of Duty.
No, even worse than that. It's literally just a way of throwing money to have all these names in,
Your
so
time
people
is up.
buy money. My time is not up. All right, your time's up. But the thing is with Minecraft, I think of all the types of games, I think they perfected the sandbox type for sure. Where, like, instead of having to have a goal of winning, or just, like, upping difficulty through, like, the game itself going against you, it ups its own difficulty and replayability through how much people can access and create innovative ways to play the game. So,
but what's the point of it?
The point.
So, like, I get it. You're going through. You can build stuff. You can destroy stuff. You can kill zombies. You can do whatever the hell ever. But, like, when I'm playing a game, I want there to be, like, a destination.
So I'll tell you this. I believe there's actually two types of people in this world. I don't know why I'm trying to make it
fun and boring.
No, not fun and boring. There's people who search for their destination and search for their goals, and there's people who need to be told what their destination and goals are. And I believe that there are these types of games, especially like Mario, for example, and stuff. They're great because they fill both those niches in a way where you don't necessarily need something to tell you what exactly you need to do, but you can search for it yourself and reach that goal. Yeah, sure. Like Minecraft has like an end game. You fight the Ender Dragon and you win the game. But you can also just spend that time like creating like a huge factory where you can just farm, like have an automated way of making like the most resources possible. You can literally work on making a huge bomb that destroys the entire map. I mean, you can literally do whatever the heck you want, and you don't necessarily have to win at the goal you want. And especially, like, don't get me started with the mods. I'm not even going to talk about that. But with just the stuff they have in the vanilla game alone, you can literally make computers or make games in the game. And I think, like, if you have that ability for people to do that, then the possibilities are endless in the strictest sense. Like, there's
you are the only person I know who can get philosophical about Minecraft.
I mean, like,
and I don't know if that should be a compliment.
I mean, like, I like Minecraft. I don't know what to say. I like the funny block man and his little antics.
So, my last franchise, Lego games.
Okay, you're talking to me about Minecraft, and you're bringing up Lego games at the same time. All right. Tell me why you like this black
They're just
guy.
fun.
Just this fun. Are you sure that? Are you sure that's a choice? I mean, like, give me a reason.
So my favorite Lego game is Lego Batman.
Okay. Okay. Lego Batman.
So you get where I'm going.
Yeah.
So like, it's really cool because you're going through like stuff from like the old movies or series or whatever. There's teamwork involved. You can switch through characters. You can go back through and you can get some of the stuff you may have missed as like a free roam type deal. And like the stories are actually not bad.
Okay.
Until you get to like Lego DC Supervillains. That one kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. But they're just fun. They're fun little games. I like Lego Batman.
Would you say they're iconic?
I think Lego in and of itself is iconic. So I think that meets the criteria.
So, I don't know what to be mad about first. That you choose Lego over Minecraft in terms of video game icons, or the fact that you found Lego Batman to be more important than Batman Vengeance. Ooh, God! I'm like, you can't see it on a like it's audio only, but I'm right up here right now. Like I don't know how to describe that. Oy. You brought up Mark Hamill for like Batman Arkham, but he voices Joker in like Batman Vengeance. Unbelievable. Okay, at least you like Batman.
I love Batman.
Okay, I like the funny black man in Minecraft.
But like Lego Star Wars is really fun too. Lego Harry Potter was really fun. Lego Indiana Jones was really fun. The Lego Marvel games are really fun. And you know what separates the Lego games from Minecraft? You can do something in the Lego games. There's a point to the game.
Yeah, there's a point to Minecraft too.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
You walk around, you hit the thing.
Yeah.
You might build something, you might destroy something.
See, here's the thing, right?
I like games that give me instructions on what to do.
It's kind of like Lego manuals, right? You got instead of like having
And
to
besides,
build whatever you want.
Besides,
isn't this a plot to like the Lego movie, like where you're like you don't follow it by the manual, you kind of just like follow your imagination and stuff.
You know what though? Legos are fun for most ages.
Yeah.
You know who has fun with Minecraft? 12-year-olds.
See, I don't know about that. You have like
you're like 40.
I'm like, all right, now you're just making lies. This is slander. I don't know how to word this here, but like, shame, absolute shame. I like straight. Okay. I mean, like,
my wife is telling Chris to hit me.
I wouldn't like say it's for people only 12-year-olds when like 20, 30-year-olds are making a living off of it on YouTube.
Well, that's just unfortunate because they have no life.
But it's true. You can't avoid it. And not only that, like I don't know how it came from like I don't know how kids were finding
I didn't even know what Minecraft was until like my senior year of high school.
That's when it came out in senior year of high school, probably.
When did it come out?
Like, if I remember correctly, I'm gonna look this up real quick. When did Minecraft come out? I remember it was like in 2011, 2012. Did Minecraft come out? Okay. Yeah, 2011.
Yeah, that was about your senior year.
I was a freshman.
So here's the thing, right?
I mean, you're like 35, right?
Yeah.
Your mom's a hoe.
I'm telling
Like, I played this around like 2010, like when it was an alpha or something like that. Let me see. Let me find out when alpha was here. Minecraft alpha release date. I'm trying to remember. Like, yeah, 2010. Like I remember like I was just getting into junior year of high school. I found out about Minecraft. No, okay.
I was going into my freshman year of high school.
I was just getting into junior year, and all my friends, and especially like online and stuff, were playing Minecraft. And it was an alpha. This was like when it was free and it was on the website, and we just literally did stuff like we flooded the map. We started making bases and stuff like that. And I just watched it as it grew. And I remember I only paid like what $10 for the beta when it came out. I didn't play like I buy the alpha yet, but like to see it last 13 years What other game lasts 13 years?
GTA 5.
You're right, GTA 5. All right, I'm going to flat out say this. GTA 5 should not last 13 years. GTA 5 was something that overstayed its welcome. Like, where Minecraft is like a full life, GTA 5 is life support. Then that's, like, I don't understand. Like, it's a cash cow. It's been over milked already, and now it's just, like, it's ready to go to pasture. I don't know. It's gone on long enough.
But no, I seriously didn't even hear about Minecraft until like 2014.
Okay.
And at that point, I just felt like it was too late.
It was too late.
And I watched some people play it online. And I'm just like, what the hell is happening? I don't understand what is going on. Why is there this creepy little green thing?
Yeah, a little like blow up guy. Like that's it.
And I don't like the graphics for it. I don't like how the game looks. You know, maybe if there was more of a storyline, I could probably be into it a little more.
I know they added more stuff, like, to make it more, like, fleshed out, but it doesn't have a storyline. They do have a Minecraft story mode, but it's not Minecraft. It's like a separate spin-off. I don't know if you heard of Telltale.
Yeah, I love. They did
Minecraft story mode, and it was
so
like
they did
a Batman game.
Two Batman games.
Two Batman games.
Those games are awesome.
So I remember Telltale from Sam and Max. That's how old I am. Not that it's a bad thing, but like Sam and Max is great, and I remember a lot of people remember Walking Dead as well.
Yeah, they did that. They did a
Poker Night.
They did a werewolf game.
Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, so like they did a lot of stuff. They went bankrupt after that second Batman game.
I heard a rumor they came back, but I'm not sure how true that is.
I don't know.
Well, it's unfortunate.
I don't know about you, but I definitely have some honorable mentions.
All right.
So, God of War.
Okay.
Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
And, God, what was the other one? Probably Witcher.
Okay, I could see.
Because those are all, especially God of War and Zelda.
I think God of War was like one of the first games that had like a seamless camera, like throughout the entire game. Like,
so, no, never mind. I'm thinking of Witcher. I'll say, so the Arkham games, their fight stuff was all taken from the Witcher series.
Okay.
And then they kind of expanded on it.
You know who's an honorable mention to me? And I should have said this because, like, you know, it deserves credit. Doom. I think Doom is a very big, stable game. One of the first FPSs.
All I can think about for when I hear about Doom is that god-awful movie with Dwayne Johnson.
See, see, that's not even in my head. I kind of, like, treated it like I would, like, say, some sort of war trauma or something like that. Just, like, kind of just blank it out of my mind. And hopefully every time I see The Rock, I don't think about that movie. See, what I think about instead is, like, the millions of Doom WODs, which are basically, like, modded, like, custom levels and stuff like that, they make in Doom. Like, I just listened to this I think it was a full hour, like, review of this one Doom WOD, which defied the very game engine's laws, and, like, it was, I don't know how to describe it. It was a liminal space thing. It was called My House. I'm sure you've seen the YouTube video from Power Pack, I think.
Nope.
But it was, I'm going to have to show you later, but it's very spooky. I think Shrek was involved, but it was kind of like, it was terrifying, but I enjoyed it. But the thing is, like, you see these things everywhere with the, like, Doom community, and the fact they can run, now there's always that joke that you can run Doom on anything, like a TI-83 and all this other stuff, running on a toaster, for God's sake. I think it's still there. I think that, like, it left its mark. If I was to consider an honorable mention, if not, probably a candidate in of itself compared to, like, say, Sonic. I think Sonic was more out the cuff. But there's that. I do agree God of War, good honorable mention, because, like I said, seamless, great story, great gameplay. Who else would be a good honorable mention?
Well, like I said, Zelda, definitely. The Witcher series, I've watched gameplay of that one. Those games look awesome.
I tried Witcher 2. I can't play it. It was 10 FPS when I last played it. Like 10, like flip book tier. I can't do it. But it looks fun.
Yeah.
I just say that.
I also really love. I only watched the first season, but I loved the Witcher series on Netflix with Henry Cavill.
Is it because of The Witcher, or is it because of Henry Cavill?
So I'd never heard of The Witcher before, or I think I'd heard of it. I'd never really seen anything about it. A guy I went to college with would talk about it a lot. But when the series came out, I watched it. It's like, wow, this is awesome. So I started looking into it. It's like, oh, wow, these games are awesome too.
Okay. So another honorable mention I have was World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Just because, like, it was one of those games during an era where mass communication through the internet was limited to small forums and stuff like that, where World of Warcraft not only gave a game that people can participate in together, but a great way to communicate with people, like, from across the world.
I remember as a kid watching, you'd be watching TV, and like every other commercial on TV was World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it was like ads like Mr. T was like a night elf.
Yeah,
like
you had Mr. T. A bunch of other celebrities would talk
Vic
about
Mignogna, I think, was one too.
Who?
Vic Mignogna? Is that?
I didn't hear what you had said. I have no idea who that is though.
He's the voice actor for Elric in Full Metal Alchemist, I think.
Okay.
He was an undead warlock. Okay, let's move on from that.
Okay.
But the thing is, the game's still alive now.
Oh wow, is it?
Yeah, quote unquote alive. I mean, like, I think it's dying, but like it's got a good over 1 million players right now still. It looks nice and it looks polished. That being said, growing up I was a huge fan of mostly like the private servers, just because like they were more innovative. They just made like custom stuff and stuff, but like you have still people like for decades still going back to these private servers just play the old experience again, and it's still good as a way to communicate with people and stuff. I just think that it's not going to go away despite like Blizzard, let's say the company goes down the toilet or they sell it and they turn on servers. I think World of Warcraft will stay for a long time, and just because of how much of a dent it placed in the gaming culture as a whole.
So, fun fact, has to do with World of Warcraft. Henry Cavill actually missed the first phone call from Zack Snyder telling him he was Superman because he was busy playing World of Warcraft.
Based.
You know what? I think we're going to end this here. You guys have a good time.
We're going to have another episode, a part 2 actually, regarding this Mount Rushmore. We're going to actually have it a series. I think the next head of this version is going to be, what do you think? Anime?
Yeah, we'll do anime.
Comic books.
So we'll do anime. Then we're going to do... No, definitely not stamp collecting. So next one we'll do anime. So stay tuned for more.
Alrighty. This has been the Nerd Squadron Podcast 535. I'm Chris.
I'm Andrew.
And thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe.